Welcome to another video, and the next set is coming. Just 3 days from now, the water box is going to be leaving. You'll be not able to get any more Kairyu-shins, and we're going to be looking at some new cards. And what new cards are coming? What new cards are the best new cards? I'm about to get into that. Let's get going. Starting off with, you see it right here, Illegal Knight. Now, what is Illegal Knight, and why should you care? Why should you put an illegal card into your deck? Well, it is part of the Adventure Engine. Everyone knows the Adventure Engine by now. Slots really easy into a lot of decks. This is another adventure card. So if you control no monsters, or you control an adventure token, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you control an adventure token, you can target 2 cards your opponent controls, give control of this card to them, return the targeted cards to the hand. So how is this good? You summon this, bounce your opponent's 2 cards, give them your Illegal Knight, and then you use the equip spell, the Dracaback, to bounce the Illegal Knight back to your hand, so you get it back. So basically, you're bouncing 2 of your opponent's cards for just 1 extra. You know, this card summons itself. It's level 7, letting you go into level 7 XC plays, letting you use this plus an Ash Blossom to make a Barandafleur or other level 10 Synchro. So just a really quality card. If you're playing Adventure, you're going to slot this into your deck, and you know who this benefits the most? That's right, Jerry Beans Man. Playing all the Degenerate cards, you just throw that straight into your Jerry Beans Man deck. So that is the number 1 card that we're going to be worried about. So what's number 2? And I got a presentation for you. Inside of you there are 2 wolves. Right now, there are no wolves, but soon there are going to be 2 wolves in everyone's extra deck. Now let's take a look at Runics. Most of the Runics should be coming in this box. I think it's possible that the 1 Runic will not be the Frikey, but the 2 wolves, you got the Frikey and you got the Gary. So once these are all out, you're going to put both of them in, but for now, probably only the Gary. So why should you care about this? Because, you know, I don't care about, you don't care about Runics. What are Runics? Why should I care about this? You can throw this into any deck. It is a very simple spell-based engine. So basically, here's how it works. I'll go through the cards that are important right now. Starting with the Runic spells. So every Runic spell has modal effects. There's 2 effects. One of them is going to be some sort of interaction, and the other one special summons a Runic fusion monster from your extra deck. So if we go back here to all the Runic cards, straight up you can like instant fusion one of these onto your field just for free by having one of these spells. So you can get the level 2, the level 3, the level 4, or the level 5 once it comes out. So that basically gives you free extension plays. If you're playing rank 4 Xyz, you get the level 4, do your rank 4 plays, just like if you had instant fusion. Same for the level 3. If you're playing sprites, which aren't out yet, Hugin Runic Wings gets you level 2. Now these monsters all have effects, but really you're not going to be caring so much about the effects. You're mostly going to be using these just to have their bodies on field to be used for extensions and other summons, even if they look kind of cool like this a cute little dog. Alright, so let's go into the specific Runic spells that are good, because some of these are bad, some of these are good. Which ones should you care about? So let's get started. First, we're going to start out with Runic Tip. Runic Tip lets you add a card from your deck to your hand, except Runic Tip, and then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So all of these Runic cards, they're kind of have an incidental banishing cards from your opponent's deck. Now, I think the Runic win condition, if you play solo Runics, is just milling your opponent out, banishing all the cards from your deck, but that's not, you're generally not going to be super important in the banishing effect. Now, the other effect is special summon a Runic monster, but basically what you can do with this is you could just add a Runic card and, you know, banish a card from your opponent's deck for free and get another spell. So what do the other ones do? Well, there is Runic Fountain. Now, when you activate Runic Fountain, you can see it lets you activate Runic spells from your hand. That's quick play spells during your opponent's turn. And once per turn, if you activate a Runic spell, you can target up to 3 Runic spells in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, and draw the same number of cards. Up to 3 Runic cards in your graveyard, place them, draw the same number of cards. So that means if you play just 1 copy of this spell, you search it with the Runic Tip. If you have any other Runic spells in hand, you're going to be drawing cards for free. So this engine is going to be replacing itself. So that's something important to know. Let's go on to what the other ones do. Because you're not always going to want to use these just to summon monsters. Some of them have actual relevant effects. For example, Runic Destruction. You can either special summon a Runic or destroy a spell and trap card your opponent controls and banish the top 4 cards of your deck of their opponent's deck. And now this banishing, although it's not like a win condition, you could just kind of incidentally banish something your opponent needs to search for and mess up their whole game plan. Like, you know, if you're playing against someone who has just like a one-of card, Like, you might just luck into banishing all of your opponent's, you know, Sword Soul strategists or something. So that is incidentally something that could happen. So don't underestimate the power of that random banish. Alright, so what are the other good Runic cards? We got Flashing Fire. Flashing Fire lets you target a special summon monster your opponent controls and destroy it, then banish 2 cards, or summon a Runic monster. Now all of these spells you'll notice have a cost, and the cost is you have to skip your next battle phase after the activation of this card. If you're going first, your next battle phase is a long way away, and you know, we've been playing Mermails. When you're activating the effect of Moulin Glacia, if it gets destroyed, you lose your battle phase. Is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world. If you're in a winning position, you're controlling the field, it doesn't matter if you lose your battle phase of your next turn. You're already in a winning position. Opponents are going to concede before they get to there most of the time, especially in Master Duel. So I don't think this battle phase loss is that big of a deal compared to the power of and potential utility of these spells. So popping a special summon monster, that's really strong. Quick play spell. If you have the field spell on, you could just activate this from your hand as a hand trap. Your opponent's not going to be able to pop it, and then you're going to be drawing a card. Like, that's some pretty intense value. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Now this is the last relevant Runic spell. It lets you target an effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects till end of turn. Now, you are going to lose your battle phase, but negating your opponent's card effects, you know, stop their Lubellian effect to special summon Mirror Jade. Like, this could really disrupt your opponent, so definitely worth including. And like all the other Runic spells, you can special summon a Runic from your extra deck to the monster zone. So there you go. Alright. That is all the Runic spells. Let's go on to the monsters in a little bit more detail. There is the level 2 Runic Hugin, the Runic Wings. This is probably going to see the most play because Runics are heavily played often with sprites once those come out, and those care about level 2s. If it's special summoned, you can discard a card, add a Runic field spell from your deck to your hand. So you'll notice any of the Runic cards can special summon this and get you the field spell. So if you're playing Runics and you know you don't necessarily need a specific level one, you can just use this one, get the field spell, activate it, and then all your future Runic cards are going to be drawing you cards. Now, it has a secondary effect. If another card would be destroyed, you can banish this card instead. And if it's destroyed by battle card effect, you can return it to the extra deck. So those other effects aren't really as important. It's got 0 attack, 0 defense. You're going to be using this to make other monsters. So this one is very important to know about. Definitely you're going to want to include this. So let's go on to the next one. Next one is the level 3 Moon in the Runic Wings. Now I think this one is probably just going to be used to get your level 3 summons on field, but let's go through its effect. If it's special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard a card, add a Runic Continuous spell from your deck to your hand. So let's just quickly check what the Runic Continuous spells are. The Runic Continuous spell is Runic Allure. Each time a quick play spell is activated, you can banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Are you really going to want to search for this? No, you're probably not going to want to. You're not going to want to put this into your deck. So this one not as relevant. So the Moonin, you're basically just going to be using to make a level 3 monster that you can use for future summons. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a Runic, you can banish this card, negate the activation. Yeah, you're not going to be using this effect. You're just going to be using it to extend. So let's go on to the next one. This is Wolf number 1, Gary the Runic Fangs. If it's special summoned from the extra deck, you can target a Runic spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That's pretty good because you used a Runic to summon this. That means it's going to get you the Runic spell back for free. So it's card neutral. Like now, you're kind of seeing now the Runic cards are quite strong. They're going to be getting you card advantage. They're going to give you modal options, how you interact, what you do. So there's a lot of power in this engine, and it's just spells. You can throw them in any deck. You can throw any number of them into any deck. You're going to be getting card advantage, you're going to be looping stuff, you're going to be getting free monsters on field, and all you have to do is give up your battle phase, which, you know, sounds like a big cost, but I don't think giving up your battle phase is as big a deal as people think it is. So yeah, when this boy is destroyed by battle, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. Hey, another pretty solid effect, you know, just making this guy, if something goes wrong, you just have him in defense mode, he gets popped, you pop something for free. Like, that's Maneater Bug. This is a good boy. Let's go on to the final one. And the final one is Frike, the Runic Fangs. And I think this second good boy is not going to be in this set. I think he's going to be coming out later. But we'll just go through what he does. When attacks declared involving this card in the extra monster zone, you can banish top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Are you going to be doing this? Well, since all the Runics make you lose your battle phase as cost, this boy's probably not going to be on the field and get to attack. So that's probably not relevant. Second effect, neither player takes battle damage from attacks involving this card. Hey, at least if he gets beat over, you're not taking any damage. And if this card on the field is destroyed, you can target a Runic quick play spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So you're getting the spell back for free. The other good boy does it a bit better, but this guy's got a little bit more attack points, and he's a level 5. So if you want to do level 5 XC plays, or you need level 5 monster to make a synchro, then this is a good way to get it for free. All right. So there you go, that's Runics, and those are the top 10 cards I think are going to be most impactful from this next box. Definitely interested in trying these out. There's a lot of decks I have that could just throw some free spells in. Maybe Mermails could use free bodies, just pump out on the field, extra interaction. Definitely going to check it out. Let me know in the comments if you're more interested in the Labyrinth cards. The Labyrinth wasn't super interesting to me as an archetype, but maybe you guys care about that. Let me know down in the comments if you think there's anything I missed. Otherwise, see you next time. Have a good night.